Hi, I'm Rajiv Satyal. I'm a comedian and a host. I am Indian.
And I'm American. So this show will tell the story of Indians in America.
I live right here in Los Angeles, the home of Warner Brothers, Disney, and now Funny Indian Productions. My guest picks a game and we play it. So enjoy. What do you bring to the table? Welcome everybody to What Do You Bring to the Table? I'm your host Rajiv Satyal and I have the honor and pleasure of sitting here with Aparna Nancherla. I said that right, I think.
Yes, you did.
That's good. I don't want to be overly Indian. I wanted to say I said that right, I think, because I'm sure most people say that, right? So wanted to get in there. So we're going to be playing Jenga today, you know, because it's a table game, and we're going to sort of do that as I, ask you questions about your life and who you are.
Great.
We're going to get to the bottom of that. So, you can make the first move if you'd like.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, seriously. So, see what, I'm going to just follow your strategy since I've
I
never
don't
really...
think I have a strategy,
I know.
but I will
I'm going to knock it over in the
I know.
first, I know.
I feel like
I don't-
have too much coffee and
Yeah, we're both
my
kind of shaking.
fingers are gonna... Wow, this is a solid Jenga tower.
Yeah, it's the first time. It hasn't been
no.
broken in.
It
It's
feels
like a
it hasn't been broken.
new pair of shoes.
I don't know if technically that's illegal to go
That's
that
fine.
close to the top, but I did.
That's fine by me. So, let's start at the beginning. Where were you born?
I was born outside, well actually I was born in Washington DC, but I grew up in the suburbs in Northern Virginia.
Northern Virginia, like near sort of Arlington or like...
Yeah, my parents live in Arlington now, but I grew up in a town called McLean, Virginia.
McLean, very cool. Where do you live now? You don't have to give us your exact address, but...
I live in New York and I just moved to Brooklyn recently from Queens.
Wow, okay, you moved up in the world.
My memories of childhood are a little bit spotty. I think I remember my sister pushing me in a stroller.
Okay, that changed. I thought you were just like down the stairs. Okay.
No, but it was at the top of our
stroller.
driveway and I told her to let go. And then my stroller fell over and I fell out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So she did it to obey you, or she did it out of spite, like if you want me to let
No,
go?
I told her, I was like yelling at her to do
Let
it.
go, and
yeah.
then you fell.
And then I hit the garage door and I fell.
Oh, wow, that's pretty, yeah, I can see remembering that. How old were you?
I don't remember.
Like it was last week.
Now I don't know if it actually happened or not.
When is the first time you had it in your mind to do stand-up?
I mean, the very first time I tried it was just some friends and I went to an open mic near my house, like when we were all home from college for the summer, and it was more just like a cheap thing to go do and hang out at the same time, just like go watch this open mic and like, grab a beer or something. And then I think we noticed that not everyone who went up was like at a professional level, and I didn't really know
Open mics,
what
to say the
open
least.
mics were
Right,
before
right,
that.
right.
And so
Sure.
I tried it, and then I think I was like, oh, I think I might try this again.
It went pretty well.
It went like better than I think I expected.
Yeah.
Because you kind of expect, well, I expected the worst. Part of it for me was like I had taken time off from school because I had been like having some eating related issues, and then I was like diagnosed with depression, and I think it was like a weird phase where I just like gotten on antidepressants and then was like in this weird zone of like everything's great and like I finally feel like the way everyone else feels or something, where I think I was willing to take more risks than I would have before that.
Do you think that was the medication, or was it some kind of
I
therapy,
think
or-
it was at least part like a placebo effect of feeling like super charged up on
Yeah.
this new thing.
Yeah. I can't see you super charged up.
Well, I just mean
It's
like
just a funny concept
no, I
of
know.
Aparna super
I just
charged
mean
up.
like my mood had like spiked. I think because I think that's
Right.
normal when you go on antidepressants for the
Sure.
first time, where there's like a bump and then it levels out. But it was like, I think I was in this like more euphoric zone
than usual.
Yeah.
That's okay. No, and you've been pretty open about talking about depression and anxiety. Do they always go hand in hand? Are people depressed and not anxious? Or
I think some people deal more with one than the other, but I think they're definitely two sides of a similar coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think depression is sort of the loss of all affect. It's not even really sadness. It's kind of like feeling
numbness.
nothing.
Yeah.
And then anxiety, in a sense, is like all the feelings at once.
Wow, that's a good way of putting it. I never thought of that. Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's
cool.
not like it's pleasurable, but it is like you're scared, you're nervous, you're like irritated. Like it's a lot of just intense. It's like turning the volume all the way up on.
Yeah. No, it goes up to 11.
Yeah.
I've heard that before, where it's just like anxiety is nervousness plus excitement, but I've not heard anyone say it's all the emotions at once. Which,
Yeah.
that's a good way of
Well, it's
putting
like
it.
a lot of noise. It's like usually you can filter out
Yeah.
what you need to focus on, and it's
Right.
just like everything at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all the colors and none of the colors. It's like white and then black. kind
So yeah, in that sense, it feels like they're part of the same circle. Yeah.
Has anyone ever said anything to you that stayed with you? Someone you didn't know, like a comment or I mean, it could be good, it could be anything. I mean, it's just sort of an insightful, because I feel like people in your position do there's just so much noise.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always very humbling when someone's like, oh, like I really liked how you talked about like depression or anxiety, and it like really made me feel less alone, or like helped me with this bad day I was having. Like that always feels very like,
Yeah.
you're like, oh man, I didn't even think that I could have that effect.
Yeah. I'm glad I do what I do. Like that's why we do what we do at the end of the day.
It's still hard to really take that on and be like, I made someone's day better, but like, it's really nice
There's
when
a fine line between it when you're at and
but it is
stay
like
humble and stuff.
nice when people say that. I think when I started, I definitely felt more like a leaf in the wind of like, I didn't even really have clear goals. Like I was sort of like, I'll just keep doing it and then see what happens career-wise. But now I feel like I think I'm trying to be better about like setting goals and being like, this is what I want to accomplish, or this is what I want to do next. Just because sometimes when you're more just like flying by the seat of your pants, like it can make it harder to really mark progress or like feel like you have any kind of trajectory. So it can be good in the sense that you're adaptable, but it can also lead to a lot of indecision. So I've been trying to be a little bit more set in like what I want and how to get there. Yeah.
So what do you want? How do you get there?
Right now, I think I kind of want to maybe be able to develop a show and work on it, and preferably with like a friend or something, because I think I just like collaborating with people who I enjoy, both like comedically and just like as people. So I think that would be a great thing. But yeah, maybe write a book or something too.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're obviously, would you say that it's been Twitter that has kind of broken you? I mean, obviously you've become much more a name in the last few years, and it seems like on all those lists of people whom to follow, Aparna Nancherla's name keeps coming up over and over, and it's at Aparnapkin, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Aparnapkin.
How did that come about? It's just...
I think I joined Twitter before people were really using it as a self-promotional tool to the extent that they are now. So I just had sort of a silly handle, like the way people's AOL addresses would be.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
It wasn't just something like your first name, dot your last name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now it is. But I feel like I went the right route, because I don't think people would have been able to figure out how to spell my last name, so I think
That's
it's
probably
better
true.
to go
Maybe
with,
just good with
with
napkin.
yeah.
Which is good. Would you say you made it?
I think in the most like basic sense, yes, in that I think my initial goal was just to be able to do comedy full time. So in that sense, I've made that goal. I think beyond that, it is kind of nebulous because it's like, are you measuring that in terms of fame or money or, you know,
Just my
like
turn.
popularity? I don't know. I was wondering. I was wondering
I'll
whose
just
turn
go.
it
It's
was.
okay. Sorry, okay.
It
no,
could be my turn. I just
Okay, go ahead.
I
go
just
ahead,
forgot.
Okay. We're measuring it in Jenga turns, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyway, I totally interrupted you. You were saying
No,
whether
but yeah, I think it's in that sense. It's like what are you really gaining fulfillment from? Because for me, I think my only real goal was to be able to do it as a career.
full time as a
yeah,
career. And
yeah.
so that's been accomplished. So in that sense, you feel.
Yeah, I think anything beyond that is like obviously very fortunate and cool, but I don't think I haven't made it till I reach this level of like knownness or something.
Yeah. No, I think that's sort of an internal way of looking at it, which I think is probably the best way to look at it. So. What would it mean to pull a you? If somebody said, wow, she just pulled an Aparna, what would that be?
Oh, maybe not showing up to a party.
So like you said you were going and then you decided not to go?
Yeah, now I'm pretty good about just being like, I'll try to stop by, and then
Yeah.
I don't feel like I made
You didn't
any
really
promise.
commit.
Yeah.
And it used to be, back in the day, because I'm old,
Yeah.
people would call or email if they couldn't come, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
And then it sort of shifted to people will maybe ping you while you're at the party. And that's really a
right.
good move because you're happy.
Right.
And you can't really get mad in front of a bunch of people. So
Right.
that's a really good
Do you think
move.
people's excuses have gotten worse?
Yes. I think that's exactly, and how they're delivered.
What is the worst excuse you've ever heard?
What is the worst excuse I've ever heard? I mean, I think the whole notion of I just passed out last night
Oh,
is really lame.
like I was tired.
Yeah, who passes out on the couch? We all, I mean, I try now to not go to bed with my phone, but you still have some notion that you're going to go to sleep.
Right.
It's not like you're a child. You don't just fall asleep and you're gone for 9 hours. I mean, we'll fall asleep for like 10, 15 minutes and you do a power nap. But you mean you passed out, like you got up from the couch
Right.
with your phone, brushed your teeth, changed into your PJs, put the covers over your head, and then I passed out. Yeah, it's weird that happened.
They probably felt themselves falling asleep, but then debated whether they could still rally, and then just gave in to it.
That I would love if somebody just came out and said that. Or it just pull a Larry David or something and just say, I just really didn't want to come.
Right.
I would respect that a lot. Who has it figured out? Do you think of anyone, whether it's comedy or life or anything, is there anyone that jumps to mind as, wow, this person has it figured out?
It's weird because I always think people who like meditate a lot and stuff and are pretty spiritual, at least in the sense of having alone time with their minds on a regular basis, feel like the most zen. But then I feel like there are a lot of people that I don't think are that evolved that seem to really be into meditation, and I'm like, if they're really into it, I don't know if I...
It's defacing the brand of meditation.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, hang on a second. You
Yeah.
meditate?
It makes me think that there is like a level of spiritual or new ageness where it's just like an excuse to not care about other people's...
Like it's just about being into themselves?
Yeah, but they spin it as being like detached.
Yeah.
But really,
Like
they're
they've,
just like
they've
a-
reached a higher plane.
A jerk.
Yeah, you're just kind of a dick, actually.
Yeah.
So. Are things in the world getting better or worse?
It feels like they're getting worse right now, but
Since when? Since the election?
I think, yeah, overtly since the election, but I think a lot of those things had already been happening before, and now we're just more aware of them.
Yeah, it just exposed the problems, the underlying problems that were there.
Yeah.
Kind of like when Jenga finally falls, it'll be, sort of gradually but
This is a
suddenly.
metaphor,
It's
yeah.
a metaphor for this world in which we're living.
This is probably a bad answer, but I think the hardest I've ever laughed was when I was like 8 years old and I saw Weekend at Bernie's 2 at a party.
It's definitely the wrong answer.
It is,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
definitely. I've never seen the movie, but it's the wrong answer. What guilty pleasure, like food-wise? What's your guilty pleasure that you'll never? It doesn't matter how big you become. Like Fergie said, just don't want to Taco Bell. Is there a place or like a thing that you, man, I'm just never giving that up?
Probably like fancy coffee is my guilty pleasure. 'Cause I feel like I do pay too much for it, but it's just like I still want to buy it.
If you had to be convicted of a white-collar crime, what would it be? Not like breaking and entering. Something that's more,
Not paying my overdraft fees.
Is that? I guess that is a crime. Which animals have you ridden?
Ridden?
Yeah.
A horse?
Okay. Well, that's an animal.
I think that's it though.
That's it. Not like a camel
Oh no.
or a elephant or a pig
Elephant
or-
maybe.
Yeah. See, I'm
Maybe.
telling you, it's possible.
Maybe an
Sounds
elephant.
like a stupid question, but it really is.
Just those two, I think.
Are you familiar with the quote, "The best paintings have already been painted"? How do you think that relates to stand-up? Do you think the best stand-up has been done? Do you think it's being done now? Do you think it will be done?
I think, every topic has already been covered, but I think stand-up is also very much a snapshot of where we are in time. So I don't think it's fair to say everything has been covered as it is now.
So you think it's the same caliber that it's been? Is there a dip? Is this sort of a golden age? Like we'll look back at this time as better, or is it always just always good? And
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always have problem with art criticism because I don't think the purpose of art is to be good.
this is gonna knock it over, almost certainly. This is a bad move. This is a really bad. But I think
I
once
don't
you
know.
start going, it's over, right? I have to go for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
to
bad,
commit.
really stupid idea.
I don't know. I'm not convinced that's the end.
My engineering degree will tell me that this was not.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Well, you called it.
Yeah. There's some points for calling it. I want to thank Aparna and Nancherla for joining us on What Do You Bring to the Table? And I just wanted to leave by asking you, do you have any advice for the kids out there? Do you have anything that, here's a mic for 30 seconds. What do you shout to the world?
It's not very glamorous, but I would say just keep going.
Yeah, that's what we did with the game.
Uh-huh.
I know, seriously. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Maybe that's the analogy to what we have. And build your own.
Build your own
build your own way.
foundation,
That's
yeah.
it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
we
you for
really
having me.
appreciate your coming, taking time out of your very busy schedule to join us on What Do You Bring to the Table. I've been your host Rajiv, and I still am. Next week on What Do You Bring to the Table?
You're very good at this.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Did you grow up playing ping pong?
I did, but I think Indians just grew up playing ping pong.
I think we always, we either had a ping pong table
Yeah,
or we had friends that had a ping pong table.
yeah. Not a billiards table, not a pool table.
No. It was like your kids were like sort of in junior high or high school, or whatever, and then like you were like, we will get a ping pong table in the rec room.
Right.
Like having a rec room
Yeah.
and having a ping pong table was kind of the quintessential like we've arrived
Yeah, we've done
kind
it.
of thing,